Imperial Tropicals. Yo, how's it going? Kim, Brandon, do we have any more albino Millennium Rainbows? We're actually getting some today, Brandon. That is a fish that is locally bred from one of our trusted suppliers, so we're bringing some in today. Actually, I think we're bringing in some extra too, so we'll have them next week. But so keep an eye on the website. They should be available within 2 to 3 weeks, depending. They could be available as soon as next week. It really depends on how they get through our quarantine process. But keep a lookout for that. So while we wait, guys, we're gonna look at some new fish. And so let me turn you around. So we got a order in today. We got some new breeders in, we got some new stock. Here we're looking at some sulphurhead peacocks. Nice males and females here. All the females we're gonna keep to add to our breeding stock. And the males we're gonna keep a handful, probably 5 of them. So we got those coming in. Another group of sulphur peacocks here. Dave, how's it going? Happy Friday. Chris, Susan, Virgilio, hi, how's it going, man? Cotton, good to see you. And Shady Grady. Here's a fun one, guys. We've had some requests. They don't look like much now. Very rarely do we get these, so we're gonna keep some of these for breeders. We only got a limited amount in, but these are the Lepidolamprologus kendali. So these guys are under quarantine. They're not gonna be available for a few weeks, if not longer. So just keep that in mind, guys. But I'm just super excited to get some nice tangs in to show you guys. So if anybody's interested, there's the name, Lepidolamprologus kendali. Black Kelvis. These are the Congo variant, the Congo location. And that's just some of them. We're gonna continue looking at some of these new Tangnikans. Got the Firefin compressiceps. Yeah, Ali Sean, those kendali, they have some really sharp teeth. The pair that we have in our show tank, their teeth are like razor blades. And they haven't been too nasty towards the other fish, but I've noticed none of the other fish try to mess with them either. So they haven't been an issue in our tank. Obviously it's a very large tank, lots of space. But when you look at those teeth, you can just tell that they can deal out some damage if they need to. So Legion Aquatics had a good question. He asked about how long does it take the Neolamprologus caudopunctatus to get from fry to adult size. Actually, they grow pretty quickly for us, so the advantage we have here is lots of space, lots of live food. We breed those indoors, then we take the fry to our greenhouse in a vat, and they grow up in our vats, and they grow really quickly. I would say we can get them up to breeding size within 4 to 6 months. I know we just sold some to one of our good customers, and she bought them. They were probably 4 months old when we sold them to her, and she's already reporting multiple spawns. So I would say 4 to 6 months to get them up to size to start breeding. But we have a lot of space here, and we feed a lot of live foods. Moina, baby brine shrimp, mosquito larvae. Here we got some Malawi garin. All right, what else is good, y'all? Here's a nice one, guys. Be on the lookout for these. These are the albino sunshine or the albino banga. Look at the yellow on these guys, with the red eyes. They just look really good. And these just came in this morning, so just keep in mind it's going to be a week to 2-3 weeks while they go through quarantine before they're available. We have some Nagara flame tails looking good. If I can get one in focus for you. Here are some yellow bangas as well, just not the albino. Yeah, Susan, those albinos are looking fantastic. They're so yellow. I love them. And here's the regular sunshine. Jeff, I will try to get around to the Severns for you today. So Legion, to continue Legion's question, he asked, could the fish being too crowded cause slower growing? I'm feeding flakes and baby brine shrimp 3 times a day and keeping them at 80 degrees. So yeah, Legion, the more crowded, they are going to grow slower. Now these fish will produce hormones that actually slow the growth down, and the more concentrated that hormone is, the slower these fish are going to grow. So more water changes will help fight that, but ultimately the more crowded, the more slow the fish are going to grow. So just keep that in mind. But it sounds like you're doing good on the feedings with multiple times a day, so keep that up. We have plenty of DeBoise, the 1-inch size. Red Chimba Tropheus. We have, sorry about that, guys. We have the Nototania. So Buccochromis nototania. We have the Malawi hawk, the Christii. We have the Gelitochromis Mark Smithii. Now these guys are amazing fish. I don't know if you guys have seen them. They get bright yellow. Really nice. Stacy, happy Friday. Thank you. We have the striped goby cichlid. These guys are great. Let's see if I can zoom in on a couple of them for you guys. Looking good. Syndrilicus, one of my favorites, just because their shape is really cool. They get nice bluish, purplish colors and black stripes. Like these guys a lot. We have the Treticephalus. Now these guys are still kind of small, but these guys can get kind of nasty. Had a hard time breeding these ourselves, just due to how aggressive they are towards each other when they start to breed. We get a lot of fish actually jumping out of the tanks because they're chasing each other so much. So when they're bigger, so if you are getting these guys, just stock your tanks appropriately, and I definitely recommend a live. Yeah, Susan, they definitely jump. So I think it's due to the aggression. They're just chasing each other around, so they end up on the floor. So make sure you have a lid. Here you can see our lid here. We just have a feeding hole. Now this is a new one for us, guys. Not gonna look like much right now. I'm super excited. We're keeping all of these for breeders. So unfortunately, we're not gonna have any available right away. We only got around 20 of them. Like what you see in the camera right now is everything we got. These are Xenotilapia kilsea or Calisa. Really amazing little fish. They stick to the bottom. Sand sifters get great color. Check these guys out if you haven't. Hopefully, we're gonna breed them. We're gonna have success and we'll have them available to you. But it is gonna take some time. They have some growing to do. As you can see, they're still kind of small. We also brought in some of these. These are the albino dragon bloods, but they're not super red. So we're gonna see what we're gonna do with them. You see the females are really yellow. Yeah, Legion, those Xenotilapia and all the different types of sand sifters out of Tanganyika are just really cool. Alright guys, here's another tank full of showstoppers, some more albino bengas. I mean, just look, even the females have a ton of color. It's amazing. Here's a male, for example. And then you got your female there. Another female in the back here. Amazing color from these guys. Really happy with how those came in. We're gonna have a ton of these available shortly. Got the multipunctatus. Now for you guys who don't know how these fish breed, super interesting. We breed them here on the farm, but it's in small numbers right now. But it is picking up for us. But so the Synodontis multipunctatus, now they breed like how a cuckoo bird would, or as the peacocks are spawning, the multicats sneak in, drop their eggs, fertilize the eggs, and trick the peacocks into picking up the eggs in their mouth. Now from there, the eggs, they develop much faster than the peacocks will. So as they develop, they slowly grow faster than the rest of the fish in the parent's mouth, and they eat the peacock fry. So the Synodontis get the advantage of mouth brooding without even actually having to do it themselves. They trick the peacocks into doing it. So we do that. We breed them here on the farm. It's kind of difficult though, because we want to breed the peacocks and haps that we keep them with just as much as we want to breed the catfish. So it's kind of a catch-22, but it's worth it. And that's just some of the new fish we got in, guys. We're gonna go look. We had some requests to see severums. So we're gonna go look for some severum types. And also, gonna go over the list of fish that are going on sale starting today at 1 o'clock. And also talk a little bit about the hurricane that came through. I don't know if you guys saw, but Hurricane Debbie Downer came through Sunday night and just flooded us out. The whole farm was flooded. We had every pump on the farm running, pumping out ponds, pumping out our drainage. And it just, it came nice and slow and dropped a ton of rain everywhere. Now, we didn't get it the worst. I know there's been some fatalities, unfortunately. But the storm is just, it's been a weird storm, guys. So I know it's slowly moving east, which may affect some shipping if anybody's on the East Coast. So just keep that in mind. We have been watching the storm, to make sure. But sometimes it's unpredictable and we might ship a package and it gets delayed due to a storm and it's out of our hands. But we will make it right with you guys. We'll make sure you get the fish you ordered. So just keep that in mind. So severums, we have the Heros liberifer. They just all darted away, unfortunately. But love these guys. They get huge. They get nice and beefy. They're a little skittish up here because typically they're up really high on the rack. So typically right now they don't have a lot of action going past the tank. So when I stick the camera in front of the tank, it kind of freaks them out. We move a little bit slower. So there's 2 to 3 inch Liberifers. There are some 1 to 2s in the tank as well. Yeah, Alishan, so be careful. Watch out for flash floods. I mean, it dropped a lot of rain in its path. I think it's because it's moving so slow. It's allowing a lot of time for all that rain to fall in just one location. Here we have some red spotted Severums. There's only 2 left in the tank currently, but we always have more stock coming up. But there you go, he's pretty big. He's probably 3 inches. And there's one hiding back here as well. Interesting fact, guys, you can actually sex Severums relatively easy. It's not always 100% correct, but right now, I'll zoom in on this fish and I'm going to show you guys. So if you guys look at the fish's eye, if you can see kind of a pattern or lack of pattern between the fish's 2 eyes, that will help determine the sex. So right here we're looking at most likely a female. As you can see, it looks like she's wearing a mask where there's no pattern between her 2 eyes. So there's pattern behind the eyes, but in between the eyes, let's see if I can get a finger in there to show you. So it's really hard, guys, with this glare behind me. Right there, right in between the eyes, where it's just there's no red pattern in there. That's going to be a female 90% of the time. It's pretty accurate. Now this fish over here, it looks like a male, and you can see right in between the eyes. I know he's facing the wrong way, but you can see it. Right, all that, the speckles in between the eyes, that's going to be a male. That works for most color forms of the Heros efasciatus. So that works for turquoise Severums, that works for green Severums, and it works for these red spotted Severums. Gold Severums doesn't work as much because they don't really have a pattern. They're mostly just all gold, so you're going to have a difficult time with that. How'd you guys like, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but how'd you like our Waru video we did earlier this week? The Waru had spawned, so we thought, let's do a quick video. Here's the tank with the sellers in it right now. And most of them are 1 to 2 inch, but you can see that juvenile pattern on a lot of them. But then you have a bigger one right here where he has that adult coloration already. He's at about 2.5 inches. And sorry about the blurriness. The tank is up above my head and it's hard to see. So let me read over a couple of your comments really quick, guys. I haven't been able to keep up. Legion said there was a pretty bad hailstorm in Canada last week. The entire neighborhood is full of holes in the cars. Wow, that must have been some pretty intense hail. Any small Spheni on the sale this week? Let me see. No, but we'll be going over that sale in 1 second, Sanjay. Fish Fam says, show some love by liking the video, subscribe, and stay in the loop. Yes, thank you, Fish Fam, as always. Guys, if you haven't subscribed, we're putting out videos multiple times every single week. In fact, I think we're putting out shorts, and we're at least putting out 2 videos every week with showing our breeders and just 1 fish we'll talk about. So that's 2 videos, and then I think we're letting out some shorts most days, so keep on top of that. Susan, thank you for letting me know about the tip on the Severums. Alright guys, so let's talk about what's going on sale. Let me zoom you out. For some reason I zoomed way in. Legion's liking the greenhouse breeder videos. Thank you, Legion. We just decided to kind of redo them all and get the females in there. I think it's important for everybody to kind of see how females look and what our females look like. So if you're so you know what you're kind of buying. If you're getting males, females, you can know what to expect. So the first one, guys, we're gonna go to the tank. Well, we don't have any in the tank, I don't think, but I'm gonna go check. I'm pretty excited about this one. I think a large number of our customers will also be excited about him. I don't know. We have so many, I don't think we brought any up here. Excuse the cloudy tanks. These are all getting water changes. No, so we do not have any up here currently. But this is going to be a good one. Let me set you up on a tank. So starting today at 1 o'clock, the blue dragon blood peacocks, the 4 to 5 inch males, are going to go on sale. They look really good right now. They're good size, they're healthy, so keep that in mind. Ghost shrimp, 25 packs are going to go on sale. The Malawi gars, we have 5 to 6 inch pairs. Now we only have a limited number of those, but those are pretty sick. Keep an eye out on those if you're interested. We got your green Texas cichlids, 1 to 2 inch. And red wag platies. We have 10 packs of those going on sale. So those sales start today at 1 o'clock. So be on the lookout for those if you're interested in any of those fish. Yeah, the Malawi gar are really nice. Now there is one other type of Severum, since there was a request. These are wild type. We just got them in maybe a month ago, and maybe a little bit longer than that. So we'll look at these. These are they came in as green Amazon Severums. I believe they are, and we all believe, we did a lot of research. We're thinking they're Heros fasciatus, just wild types. You can see they're getting kind of aggressive with each other. They got a small one over here kind of getting picked on. So this is a fish we are going to keep. We have another tank of them over here as well. This is a fish we are going to keep a handful of pairs and breed them. This tank's also getting a little beat up all around the mouth. Yes, Legion, these are wild caught. We're currently keeping them in soft water. So our conductivity in these tanks is around 50 to 100. And our pH it's actually relatively high. We're working on trying to lower it in all of these tanks, but right now it's around 8. It was around 8. We have since dropped it slowly, and it's in the mid 7s. And these fish are doing just fine. As long as you have stable parameters, most of the time the fish will be fine. But keep that in mind, that these are wild caught, and they will like a little bit lower pH, a little bit lower conductivity in TDS. And then we have one other tank of smaller, same location. We don't have a location, we just know that they're wild caught. They came in from the same order, and these guys are around 2 to 3 inches. We do have one we're working on getting a photo of here. You can see he darkened up against the black background we put in the tank. And here we have a female. If it'll focus. Legion, sometimes with these wild caught fish, sometimes it only takes one generation of just raising the fry in hard water or harder water, but not all fish are the same. It's going to be different for every fish. Every fish is going to have a big variation in tolerance. A good example of that is going to be something like an Altum Angel or wild caught discus. Typically, they are going to take a long time, if ever, to becoming adapted to harder water or just more like just water that's significantly different from the wild where they come from. So it's going to depend on the fish. Severums here, they typically are pretty adaptable, but there's a reason why some fish are more expensive and less available, like Ultim angels, like certain types of discus that are wild caught, and that all comes down to just getting them. It's hard to get them acclimated and breeding in captivity just due to the water parameters. So good question, just something to keep in mind. Sherry, we currently do not have any keyhole cichlids. Hello, Lynx. Glad to see you made it. Is there any other requests of fish you guys want to see? Let me know. If not, I'm just going to go around and look at some fish. These were all bred here. These are the Cyprichromis Blue Flash, and they're a good size. They're 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches. These were all bred here. Any pairs of Malawi gar? I don't. There aren't any in the warehouse currently. Let me triple check. Yeah, they're all in the greenhouse just due to their size. So that's a fish we aren't keeping in here. So I can't show them to you, but just so you know, if you didn't catch it earlier, the Malawi gars will be going on sale today as pairs. Just for reference, here are some of the smaller albino bangas. I just happened to walk by, so I wanted to show you guys that. I did see a request for some Mabuna, so we will look for some Mabuna. I feel like the Mabuna have been very overlooked recently, and they just haven't been as popular, but they're still one of the cooler Africans to me. I think they are very underrated. So here are some Masobos. Over here we have the J-Lo Reef. Look at this male, guys. How could you not love a fish like that? You got yellow, black, blue. Really cool fish. You can see the females. She's actually holding over there. Kind of small. She's just kind of skinny, but it's because she's holding, so she's not eating. So that's a couple types. Here is the white top hara. Nice kind of cobalt blue. We have these. Oh, guys, I forgot about these. I haven't highlighted these yet. So these are their common name sometimes is the purple Mabuna. They're very similar to a Uratus, but these are a different species. Let me get the name for you on screen. These are the Melanochromis vermivorus. Melanochromis vermivorus from Mumbo Island. You can see there's a few colored up males. But these guys are pretty cool, not as common, similar to Uratus. Wow, guys, look at this male pink flash. This is a unsexed tank, so looks like we have one male left in this tank. We're gonna probably restock it soon, but he is a stunner. I scared him with my paper. Sorry about that, guys, but really nice looking guy. And he's just at 2.5, 2 3/4. He's not quite 3 inches yet. Legion, there are currently no Cyprichromis on sale. Mike, we have all the Synodontists are cool, honestly. I personally like the feather fins. They're really cool fins. But we also have the Geophagus spheni, which is one of our most popular Geophagus. Vaughn, the red tiger severums, those have been tough. Every time we get them, we're using them, trying to breed them, and they're just so aggressive. So it is something we are working on. The Masoni are a classic. You have your albino Uratus. Mario, you're just catching me. I'm about to sign off. Have a few small Dactari in here. Here we go. These are the yellow Dinganis. The males look really nice. This would be a cool species only tank. Another one here, I've been eyeing these up, are the yellow top Mabamba Bays. So here are the Melanochromis Chipoke. Also kind of similar to the Uratus, but not as common as well. They're not fully colored up yet, but that's a cool one too. And then, guys, the last one I'm going to show is this Mabuna here. These are the orange-back Kobus. Really like these guys. Their colors aren't as intense, but you get the nice orange head, blue body, the black stripes. They are all freaking out currently. Unfortunately, they're in a tank that gets a lot of traffic. It's right by our bathroom, so they're a little skittish right now. Let's see if I can get a male for you guys. Legion, it's going to be coloration in the adults, so you're gonna have to Google. I can't show you our breeders right now because they're in a room that has zero reception, and the fry, they look exactly the same. So if our website doesn't show a good enough difference, just Google a photo, because there are a difference. They're just a different location, so there's going to be a slight color variation. So finally there, guys, finally got them in focus for a second. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you for joining. Be sure to check out the website in about 30 minutes. The sales are going to start. It's just 5 items like usual. Thank you all for joining. Be sure to check out the Mabunas, guys. They're very underrated if you haven't ever kept them. They're pretty cool. I would just recommend a Mabuna only tank. I personally like species only, but you can do a mixed Mabuna tank as well. Just try to get all males. But thank you guys, and we're going to catch you next.